Hello peoples, and welcome back to Phrozen Gaming. I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 if anyone was interested, and today I'm going to be doing some gaming news. There seems to be a lot of Xbox One news out at the moment. I'll just start off with, well, obviously the big news is that there's finally a release date for the Xbox One. If you aren't aware, the Xbox One is coming out on the 26th of November in most countries. There's some that it isn't. I can't remember the list, but I know Australia's getting on 22nd, New Zealand, America, obviously. Europe, majority of Europe, not sure about the more Asian countries like Japan and China. I'd believe that they would be getting it on the 22nd as well. And most places are, there's just a few countries that aren't. And in a way, well, I'm kind of upset about that. I was hoping for the 5th of November, that's when Call of Duty comes out, so that would have been a key ideal time for the Xbox One to come out, you know, and suck up all those COD players into buying an Xbox One with their new version of COD. And there's a balloon. Hey, balloon. Anyway, stop getting distracted. Yeah, and also the fact that I bought one for my nephew for his birthday, which is the 12th of November, but unfortunately he'll have to wait a bit after that, 10 days to be exact. And yeah, so that was a bit disappointing, but it was a smart move by Xbox in a way. I'm pretty sure 5th of November would have been smarter, that they would have both got COD and the other market which they are obviously hunting for, which is the European market. I feel that Microsoft is really pushing towards that European market. Like, that's where Sony is strong compared to Microsoft. Obviously, Sony is very strong in Japan compared to Microsoft, and in most of Asia compared to Microsoft. That's just mainly because Sony is Japanese. So obviously the Japanese are going to just stick to what they know, and Sony seem to produce games that, you know, Japanese people love. Anyway, instead of watching this normal plain screen, let's go for a roller coaster ride while I look at some more news. Yeah, I haven't played this for a while, so the camera's a bit funky. Chuck you on this one, I think. This one. I've actually got music playing. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Hang on, I'm going to cut out. How do I get out? Damn! Oh, get out. Escape. Thank you. No, I don't. I just wanted to get out of there because it's too loud. Anyway, I'm back. Maybe I won't do the roll. I'll turn the volume down a bit. Never mind. I'll just continue on with the news. Yeah, because another announcement that Microsoft has made, there's another push towards the European market with their Xbox One being able to use 8 controls at one time. Now, to most people that means sweet FA, but to people in Europe who are big FIFA fans, that is a big thing, because currently most supported controls is 7 on the PS3, and the PS3 was usually you know, the preferred console for FIFA. But with the Xbox doing this, and also with the free copy of FIFA that you can get if you pre-order in Europe, which can now also be Forza. You can either pick Forza or FIFA. Yeah, they are really making a hard push for the European market. In Japan, and with the date of the Xbox One, it actually comes out after the PS3 in America. I mean, after the PS4 in America, but before the PS4 in Europe. So more indications that Microsoft is pushing strongly for the European market, where Sony have a massive stronghold. And other Xbox One news is Microsoft is still hopes for Xbox One digital game trading. By that, it's something that they didn't really clarify with their DRM services, because they really went harsh out when they were talking about it, saying, you can't share your games unless, you give them to someone and they have to be on your friends list for 30 days. But now they're stating that they want to bring back family sharing once they figure out how to work with the whole new system and stuff like that. And they also want to try and introduce, that you can trade and loan digital games on your Xbox One. Now, if they mentioned that with all the DRM properly, people would have been more interested in not hating so much on the Xbox One, but they didn't. And now they're, backtracking and finally finding the way to verbally describe what they're trying to bring out. And then, obviously, you can't trade in your FIFA or if you're in Europe, because you got it for free. And Pinello, who I'm not too sure who that is. Albert Pinello, one of the Xbox executives, was quoted as saying to GameSpot, "We are trying to implement the ability to trade and loan digital games with your friends, which is something that no one else was doing. I believe in retrospect, the people have calmed down and gone back and actually looked at what we said. People are starting to understand. Wow, they did want..." Let's try that again. "Wow, they did want actually to allow me to loan and trade with other digital ecosystems don't want to do." Which other digital ecosystems don't want to do? I think we need to do that. That has to be part of the experience. Right now we're focused on launch and we switched the program back to discs because that's what customers wanted. And now he's also quoted as saying about the family sharing is, "I got a lot of mails saying, 'God, please bring back the family sharing. We'd love to figure out how to bring that back. I still think it was a good idea. Maybe it was a little too soon for some people, but I still think there were a lot of good ideas in there. And we'll bring it back when the time is right.'" Did I not mention in my opinions video that Microsoft will be bringing back the DRM? I knew that they weren't going to get rid of it because they know what they want for the future of gaming. They want it mainly to be online. So you download your games online, so you constantly have your console online, just like Steam, except for, they have an offline feature, which Microsoft, I don't know why they haven't figured out yet. It's Microsoft. If Valve could figure it out, I'm pretty sure Microsoft can too. I don't know, maybe they're just not thinking straight. Anyway, in other news, what do we got here? Yeah, that's boring news. Not such big news, but the Xbox One's CPU has had an upgrade, or more so a slight overclock from 1.6 gigahertz to 1.75 gigahertz, which is, only 150 megahertz extra, which at those speeds isn't very noticeable. I don't know, maybe it's slightly noticeable, but in doing this, that means that console is going to be using more power and producing more heat. Whether or not it's a smart move, I don't know. I don't know, what temperatures the console is running at 1.6. Maybe they should have just left it at 1.6 to play it safe, so we don't get red rings again. Microsoft, red rings. So yeah, and they also quite a while ago mentioned that they had slightly overclocked the GPU, which I can't remember the statistics for that, but all in all, hopefully those slight improvements do not actually kill the Xbox One and we don't have a repeat of the red ring of death. In PS4 news, which is slightly different from where I've been talking about recently, Sony is making a big push supposedly for virtual reality on the PS4. Like, whether or not this means they're going to support the Oculus Rift, which I hope they do, because that thing from like what I've heard of other people saying about the Oculus Rift, it sounds awesome, and I can't wait to get my hands on one. Like, we don't know if it's the Oculus Rift or if it's Sony's VR headset, which was said to be okay, but not quite as good as the Oculus Rift. Other than that, it doesn't mention much other stuff. It just says, you know, that they're pushing towards that, and what they will achieve in the future is uncertain, because it doesn't really say anything. It doesn't, just mentions their headset or their head-mounted display. Yeah, let's move on. Let's get controllers. No. Bad news for the Xbox One. The Xbox One won't be supporting external storage when it launches. I'm pretty sure you guys are getting bored of seeing my park just walking around. Try and think of a game that, you know, I could play, kind of. I'm not actually playing it right now. I play while I'm still doing the news. Let's try that. I think it's still too loud. Anyway, I'll try and talk over it. What's the volume? Maybe if I turn my stereo down a bit, hopefully we can get echoes back. Hit the like button if you recognise this video anyway. I mean, recognise the song. My bad. Yeah, so Microsoft, the Xbox One won't be supporting external storage upon launch, so they obviously have plans to support it later on, which is a no-brainer, because, you know, the Xbox 360 did it, and if the Xbox One doesn't, then they truly are going backwards, not just with the number of the console either. On other awesome news, the PS4 actually will be, like, just like the PS3, you'll be able to swap out the hard drive with any normal. I'm not sure if they've, I'd imagine they've got notebook hard drives inside of them, like the SATA notebook hard drives. I wouldn't imagine they would have went for the desktop, like the 3.5 inch or whatever. Can't remember the measurements, but, you know, the desktop hard drives. I wouldn't mention they'll go for that, because they would want a smaller console, and that would take up a lot of room. So anyway, you can actually swap out the hard drives in the PlayStation 3 and upgrade them to whatever size is available for notebooks, which I'm not too sure at the moment. I think, I'd imagine they're up to 2 terabytes by now. Anyway, leave a comment down below if they are up to further than that, because I think desktops are up to 4, laptops are up to 2. I think last time I checked, they were just about to crack the 1 terabyte. So yeah, that's awesome news. So if PlayStation pushes a bit more for digital, like Microsoft is trying to do, but, you know, got terribly knocked down, that would be awesome news, because then you can install a whole heap of games on your actual PlayStation. You know, because that limiting your hard drive to only 500 gigabytes, and, you know, most Blu-ray discs can hold up to 50 gigabytes, as far as I know. I don't know if they'll do a layer of 100 gigabytes or whatever. But if developers are using that full 50 gigabytes on the disc, what the hell is that panda doing? Can anyone see that? That panda just grabbed its ass. Anyway, what am I talking about? If they limit the hard drive to 500 gigabytes and developers use the full 50 gigabytes, which are most likely run of the Blu-ray disc to make the game, downloading that game onto your hard drive, you'll only have 10 games, which is a problem that the PlayStation 3 had in its early days. When you got home, you had to put the disc into the machine, it had to install some files onto things so it ran faster, because the Blu-ray disc drives are not that fast at reading, and, you You know, games that usually took about 4 megabytes to save on your PlayStation, on your Xbox 360, took sometimes 3 gigabytes to save onto your PS3. And when they first came out, you had the 60 gigabyte hard drive ones, which is still not too bad considering the size of the game back then. But you know, that's only to save your disc. Like, you still had to use the disc to play the game, and in that way you were limited to what games you played. They had luckily fixed that further into the cycle of PS3, but yeah, hopefully Microsoft figure out something. Obviously you can't run your games off an external storage unit, so like a USB or an external hard drive. Or maybe they can, I don't know. Another news, now the PlayStation 4 will be doing voice recognition just like the Xbox One, using the PlayStation Eye. As typical of Sony being Sony, they are obviously trying to do other things that are on other consoles, which is, you know, a good thing. It means you have more variety of stuff, but are they going to put the effort into it like Microsoft are doing at the moment? That's why there's a slight delay in other countries, because they're trying to get the voice recognition working properly in different languages, which requires some time. I don't know how many features you'll be able to control with your voice. Anyway, yeah, so they'll be doing that. So day in, day out, the PlayStation Eye slowly becomes the Kinect, and you'll be taught by the response by everybody about Microsoft releasing the Kinect with the Xbox, that no one is interested that much in the Kinect. It might be good further down the road, that's what PlayStation's doing, but right now people don't want a PlayStation Kinect. They don't want a Microsoft Kinect, but they got one. This is sort of a given. Microsoft has confirmed that you don't need an Xbox Live Gold account for you to watch TV on your TV through your Xbox One. Shock horror. Can you imagine the uproar Microsoft would have copped if they said, "Oh, you need Xbox Live Gold subscription to watch TV through your Xbox One"? There'd be no point. Everyone would just, reroute it back straight to the TV again, so they can watch TV for free. Or if it's a paid service, for just that paid service, not, buying Xbox Live Gold as well as your, Fox or whatever you have around the world. We have Fox TV, which is quite dumb, because you can do Foxtel on Xbox 360, but you have to pay a subscription. You have to use Xbox Live Gold to access Foxtel, then you have to pay a monthly fee to Foxtel to watch Foxtel. So double whammy right there. And other good news for Sony, they've actually created a third-party production division, which means for Sony, well, obviously good news. So they have a team of people there that work specifically to make third-party games work efficient on the PS4. Like before this, most third-party publishers were actually just porting it and trying to make it compatible for the console, so it would just run. But with this, they've actually got a specialized division that's going to do that for the third-party publishers, so they can get more of the third-party games. Which I didn't really notice them missing many. No, I noticed a few. I can't really think of any right now. Maybe like Bayonetta, but so did Bayonetta 2, but so did Xbox, because Nintendo paid a whole heap of money to get that game. Why? I don't know. I can't remember the publisher of that game, but I'm pretty sure they're feeling pretty sorry for themselves for doing that. I'm pretty sure they would have got more than the money Nintendo had provided to them to make that game from selling it on Xbox and PS3. But on the other side, the game wouldn't have been made if it wasn't for Nintendo. So, that's it for today. So anyway, sorry for the boring feed. I'm trying to find some games where I can talk and play and read the news and do stuff like that at the same time. Jump the carriage for the first one. This is boring. Oh. So we're finally on the ride. Here we go. Hopefully it's not too loud, it doesn't cut me out. Yeah, I'm working on my videos. I'm trying to make them more easygoing and more interesting and not sound so boring on the video feeds. So if I'm actually making a difference here, let me know by hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button to see more. Also, down in the comment section, can you guys give me some ideas for some Let's Plays you'd like me to see? I'm going to be doing it in a way, I'm going to actually be reading the text in the game, like for games like Zelda, where they don't actually talk. I will be doing the voices for them and trying to do some sort of accents, I don't know. But if you sound interested in that, leave a comment down below on what games I should do, and I'll see if I can do them, and if I can, I'll do a Let's Play. Anyway, this is the end of my video, so until I see you next time, stay frosty. Because I don't have the legendary hammer, but I have no choice. Funny one, I'm asking you to do this as my small brother, while I'm trying to deal with the dragon, and you save my